Wednesday morning, right here in the city of Ibadan. Yes, it's time to talk sport once again. This is Dominion Sport, coming to you live from Dominion Television, Yagonku, right here in the Brown Road city of Ibadan. My name is Boluwaji Ogumala. We have a whole lot lined up for your viewing pleasure. Myself and Toluwani Paula Bay, the one you could love to call Sport Paps, is here with me in the studio, and together we'll be doing justice to all these trending stories with in-depth analysis and quality interviews, exclusive interviews, you call it. Once again, you're welcome on board. Boluwaji Ogumala is my name. Sport Paps, Toluwani.
Good morning to you.
Good morning,
Boluwaji. Every time it's something brand new and
it's the Dominion way.
okay, amazing. If it's the Dominion way, I think I need to switch the Dominion way.
Absolutely.
But you look amazing, and like you have said, we're going to expect something top notch this morning. In the world of sport, all around sport, like you said, and the sporting family need to just sit tight and enjoy the show.
Absolutely, sit down and enjoy the show. We have a whole lot lined up for your viewing pleasures today, from the President Federation Cup going down in Lagos to the favor of Philly situation. But then let's kickstart from the President Federation Cup, where giant killers in the 2025 President Federation Cup, Abakaliki Football Club, have arrived in the commercial city of Lagos ahead of the historic final match against Kwara United from Ilorin. The Rice Boys, that's what Abakaliki are called. Of course, they're under the tutelage of Ifeanyi Onyedika. And of course, the team is poised to mark their team's first appearance in the final on Saturday with a very good outing. It was gathered, and the team arrived in Lagos to acclimatize and focus on the big match on Saturday. The team is based in Ebonyi State, and of course, they've been impressive all season long, especially in that competition, eliminating top MPFL sides. Took out Katsina United, took out National United, took out Eyimba, took out Ikorodu City Football Club, and the stage is set for a thrilling encounter, as Abakaliki FC take on Kwara United later on Saturday. But the female final is also holding on Saturday, and that's between Rivers Angels and Nasarawa Amazons. Let's quickly talk about these giant killers. I mean, they've done what no one managed to do all season. Yeah. Took out Eyimba, took out Katsina, took out
Ikorodu City.
Big boys.
Big ones.
And they only ply their trade in the second tier of Nigeria. And a win for them on Saturday.
Yes. Guarantee.
On the continent.
Big one. Big one. So I think for me, it's like you said, giant killers. I think that's the right word to use for them, giant killers, and also the Rice Boys, like you call them. And we're expecting, the expectation. There's a word I want to use for them now. Exception, yes, that's the word I want to use for them, just for that game, over the weekend. And I think for them to have knocked out big teams like that, I think, they can go on to win, on Saturday. But looking at what they're set to achieve, I think they need to put, all things right, going forward. If they have to qualify, if they have to win and also qualify, for the CAF, the CAF
Coronation Cup. But honestly speaking, having an other side.
A play is weird. It's weird. Yeah, actually, it's weird.
I'm sure you don't want to see that.
No, I want to say that because it's the growth. Yes, for football, it's growth for football.
All right, let's listen to the man on your screen. His name is Ifeanyi Onyedika, and that's the head coach of the club side. And that's talking about Abakaliki Football Club. Speaking, ahead of the final, not just himself and some of his players. Let's get to meet them when they arrived in Lagos, and we'll be back.
Abakaliki Football Club, we are prepared as ever. We have done everything there is to do for the match. They have to know that we mean business. And then I believe that the cup will come back to Ebonyi for good. So I'm very sure I'm assuring everybody.
So it's the captain of Abakaliki is very much prepared for the match come 28th of this month, in June 2025, for the FA Cup final against Kwara. So we are prepared. The boys are ready. It's a game of football.
They have it. Back at the KFC contingent, talking tough ahead of the finals against Kwara United. Of course, they arrived early to ensure that they put everything in place to make sure that they are fit and good enough for the final. We're yet to hear from Kwara United, honestly. And then tomorrow on the show, I'm sure we'll hear from Kwara United and listen to what they have of the slates for us. But let's cross to the United Kingdom and join Hannibal Enahoro. I'm not sure, well, I don't know if she's ready to join us at this moment, Annabelle. So she can also talk about the Federation Cup final holding on Saturday, the female edition. Of course, we'll have Rivers Angels take on Astro Amazon. If Annabelle can hear us. Good morning to you, Annabelle. Okay, I'm not sure she could hear us at this moment, but if she can. Annabelle, good morning. Oh, she can't hear us. She can't hear us. We'll be back. We'll be back to her. Of course, she's our reporter over there at the United Kingdom. And of course, we're hoping to join her very, very shortly. But, before we leave that President Federation Cup story, what do you think the atmosphere will look like in Lagos? Having not very popular and not top teams playing the final.
I think it's going to be a low turnout. Just like you said, not having top teams, play in that final. But I think we need to support those teams. If you're in Lagos, you need to just go there to enjoy good football and also support this team. That word is just ringing in my giant killers when you see them knock out a Yimba, big teams like that, and you just want to support them and see how far they can go because they're going to represent, Nigeria in the big stage. So yes. I think it's just time to see how far we can support them, and also we got the report that the coach of the Super Eagles is also going to be on ground to see how far he can pick top-notch players from this game because if you look at a team like Abakaliki being in the final of the President Federation Cup, and also hopefully or Kwara United or any of them are taking us through the continent is a big one, and I think all Nigerians need to be in Lagos to support these teams. Absolutely,
be in Lagos support this team. The first game on Saturday is between Rivers Angels and Nasarawa Amazons. And of course, the second one is the male final, and that's between Kwara United and Abakaliki Football Club. Well, let's move away from the President Federation Cup. I mean, I was hoping to have Annabelle join us and talk about that, but then she will join us very shortly. Well, let's move away from the President Federation Cup and take a look at updates coming from other stories that we have off our sleeves this beautiful morning. All right, let's move on this morning and tell you that the executive chairman of Edo State Sports Commission, his name is Honorable Martin Desmond Enebulele, has announced that the immediate dissolution of the board of Bendel Insurance Football Club as part of efforts to reposition the club ahead of the 2025-2026 NPFL season. Now, in a statement released by its media officer yesterday, Idoko Wilson Idoko, Honorable Enabulele confirmed the appointment of Emperor Jarrett Tenebe as the new chairman of Bendel Insurance Football Club. He succeeds Right Honorable Philip Shuaibu, who was recently appointed Director General of the National Institute of Sport, that's NIS, by President Bola Tinubu. Now, Emperor Tenebe, who also serves as the Edo State Chairman of their ruling party over there in that state, expressed his appreciation for the appointment and pledged to build on the club's achievement. We understand that an official unveiling ceremony for the new chairman, of course, will be done next week. We're looking forward to that details. But then, Toluwani, something new is happening at that particular club. Just to remind our people that Honorable Philip Shuaibu happened to be the deputy governor of Edo State. Wow. At some point, before issues, I don't want to go to the political conversation now. Then, while he was there, insurance were playing in the NNL. Okay. And he was registered as a player. He was playing with them. Okay. Also serving as the chairman of the club. And I must say that the club did well. They got promoted to the NPFL. And at least they competed pretty well. Although they didn't make it to the continent, but they did considerably well for themselves. While Shuaibu was in charge, pretty well for the club, I must say. But then now he has to leave because he has been appointed as the NIS Director General by the President. Now someone else is coming in, and then with political, undertone. You understand? I mean, what do you think? Actually, this brings to the club again? Way forward.
Way forward.
Step back.
Okay, so it's a way forward. You know, when you look at so these are the things where we say go back to the drawing board. Look at how you can make things right in your management. So next season is upon us. In the MPFL, and they need to do something right. Yes. So the earlier the better. Like I said, make sure you're doing things right. What are those things that you need to take out? It's not about the players now. Most of the players might be committed to playing good football, but the management might just be frustrating all things on the field of play. For this player. So I think, this is the right direction you can go and put things right. So I think it's a good one. It's a way forward for Bendel Insurance, and we hope to see, all things right for them come next season.
So, Luwani, let's find out if Annabelle is ready for us right now, because she's actually from that particular region,
Okay, yes, she is.
The south side.
She is.
Good morning to you, Annabelle. Can you hear us now? Oh, okay. I think she can hear us. I'm not sure we can hear her. But let's talk about Bendel Insurance. Major development for them. Philip Shuaibu, stepping aside, and another man, Emperor Tenebe, taking charge of the club. A step forward or backward for them?
Personally, if we consider Philip Shuaibu in Bendel Insurance so far, a lot of people will call it development. Personally, I don't see it as a development because it will sort of mean we've been underplaying the role of Philip Shuaibu in Bendel Insurance. And let's not forget, he actually played a massive role for them as a chairman, the support, the group, everything. Because he does this sort of that he's a sportsman, he loves sports, he loves the growth of sport, the development of sports. And I remember when I saw the appointment for the national team, but even though we have lots of people thinking that he's not the right person for that position, but looking at the fact that and they do the position of somebody who's academically sportish, not physically sportish, but taking away from the it's not something I feel players who have been a part of that process are happy about. Is just this person that is actually for the growth of the club. And I was seeing it's sort of absent. This is officially the absent now, but we've noticed the political drama in the state. We've seen the impact the club itself has felt. Philip Shuaibu stepping back from major club activity. So, it's an opportunity for them to go back to the drawing board. But for me, it will definitely be a better role for better.
And let's talk about Philip Shuaibu now as the Director General of the NIS. A lot of people have come out to knock that particular appointment, saying Shuaibu is not even a sport technocrat. I mean, they expect someone who has kinetic knowledge, sport knowledge to head that institution. I mean, what's your take on that appointment, really?
I don't think. I think it's about it, like in two ways. Because for me, it looks like the sportsman, definitely. But according to the expert, that position to be filled by somebody academically sport inclined, who has sporting research, who have invested in the sporting research and things like that. Because if you look at it in the place, yes, that should be the type of position in that position. But then when you look at Shuaibu and his love for in general, I feel it's an opportunity for him. If you don't put him in that position, how do you expect him to understand ways to develop sport in a different dimension? So this is which of course is a big opportunity for him. Yes, we live in a country where even if you bring the person that is academically inclined with sports, you see how people will complain about that, why this person. So I think it's an opportunity for practice, it's an opportunity for sports in Nigeria to grow. So yes, it's not bad. Because if you give the room for growth, it's definitely not bad. I feel it's going to have to look back at what, or look into what we need to do, or make changes to make things better. Personally, for what we have achieved in Lagos State, it's really not a bad position for me.
All right, thank you for that thought, Annabelle. Let's move on. I mean, we have a number of female stories to talk about today, so it's important that Annabelle join us on the show to talk about it. Let's talk about Tobiloba Amusan. Well, she returned to winning ways at the Ostrava Golden Spike Meets cruising to victory in the women's 100-meter hurdles with an impressive time of 12.45 seconds. Now, the world record holder bounced back after finishing second at the Paris Diamond League despite clocking a personal best this season. Amuson confidently approached the Ostrava meet and delivered a dominant performance, finishing well ahead of our rivals. And that's Slovakia's Victoria Forster came second, 12.74 seconds, while Ireland's Sarah Lovin claimed third with a time of 12.76 seconds. Both athletes setting their season's best. Toluwani, good to have her back, winning again.
Yes,
this should be our first win this season.
Yeah, this season, and it's good to see her back. World ranking 13, a personal best 12.12. But despite that ordeal, she crossed about the doping issues and all. I think it affected her mentally. Not being prepared going forward for races like this. But right now, I think it's back to winning ways for Tobi Amusan, and we're rooting for her. And things like this, can spike her, forward to do better in other competitions. So congratulations to Tobi Amusan, for winning this race right here.
All right, Annabelle, Tobi appears to be back. The World Championship fast approaching, World Relays also fast approaching, and good to have her back, right? Winning again.
Yes, I'm very happy about Tobi. In Paris, when she finished second, clocking a personal best this. Lots of people were complaining about the fact that she didn't because she it couldn't count. But for people who have followed through Tobi Amusan's story, it is a win as part of the finish. Because I feel things like that or results like that probably just what is better, which of course will stay now, keep doing it. And with the World Championship and Nigeria not taking part in the relay, with the World Championship in focus, this is an opportunity for her to go there.
Yeah.
We still have lots of wins until then. And yet, she did not show the fact that, she's getting back into the game.
Yes.
So over the weekend, she is doing best every meet, So this is an opportunity for her to go. I'm personally looking forward to the World Championship. And I'm not looking forward to that, yes, she has to be under pressure to win.
I was going to say that.
To keep getting better.
Is it getting into Tobi's head? Because the World Championship is fast approaching and she's in every meet at this point. Like last weekend she was in Paris and this time around Ostrava. And you ask yourself, is this not too much at this point?
Yeah. No, it is. I believe it is all of these meets that prepare her towards the World Championship. But then I think I really wish she had the right people around her to pull her away from that pressure. Because for now, I feel like when she puts herself under so much pressure to be the best before the World Championship, she might not be able to eventually be the best when the championship comes.
Honestly,
so she needs to separate herself from the pressure that comes to doing better before the World Championship. She can actually go to the championship. So she might feel like an opportunity. It's a good ground for her to get better, to bring the staff together. In the world of football, we say part of the staff. It's a good opportunity for her to part of the staff. So I feel it needs to be very wary of pressure, because pressure will definitely when that time comes.
I tell you, prayer is part of the game anyways. So you have to live with it. You have to live with it. And that's what. All right, from one female, let's cross to another female star. But this time around, she's been in the news since the weekend. And that's Favour Ofili. Now, for the first time in days, World Athletics have spoken. And they have clarified that it is yet to review or approve the transfer of allegiance applications that was submitted by the Turkish Athletic Federation amid growing reports of elite athletes switching nationalities, including Nigeria's Favour Ofili. Well, the Global Athletics governing body, World Athletics, confirmed receiving 4 applications from Turkey, but declined to reveal the identities of the athletes involved. The organization explained that the applications will be assessed through standard procedures over the coming months. During this period, the athletes involved will not be permitted to compete for any federation. And the body also emphasized that the mandatory 3-year waiting period for athletes granted a successful transfer before they can represent their new country. Annabelle, here is Favour right now in the midst of this storm. What Atlantic saying, they've not even approved anything. So everybody, calm down.
Calm down.
When it comes to Favour's news, I can very, it's a bit of an emotional news because this is a lady that is doing her best in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget, a lot of our athletes, a lot of them, they get to where they are by themselves.
Yeah.
I don't see, there's no way in which the Federation of Nigeria were responsible for the success of one of the athletes we have in Nigeria today. Not at least the top class athletes making names abroad and making names in different countries. They are personally responsible for their own success. So from Favour situation, she's yet to come personally to talk about the fact that okay, this is what she wants to do. We've not been hearing this information from people who know her. Aside from the fact that she has come to say she wants to represent Nigeria until she's doing the if it is clear, yet to say any other thing after that. And I feel this is an opportunity for the AFN, Mr. Tonobo re-election, go back and try to address all of these issues with the NSC, AFN, and every other party involved. Because I don't need anybody to tell me that they're yet to probably pay the money for the stress that she went through. They're yet to publicly apologize.
That's correct.
Fully, this happened about what happened.
Yeah.
They're still claiming the fact that they're just people old enough to be your daddy and we feel like we can talk to you. Forgetting the fact that this person from our own. So if she chooses that, for that country, I personally, as a Nigerian, I'm Favour people. It doesn't matter the country she's in. But now we now have to look at if it is possible that part of, we don't know yet, the part of that wants to do the transfer to talking, it's fine. If she's ready to wait for 3 years to make that, it's fine. But I feel she will now look at the fact that 3 years without taking part with any major for
the country, for federation. I'm sure she can still go for several meets here and there, but not Olympics.
Not Olympics.
Not African Games.
Not African Games. For herself.
And of course, a lot of those moves, you doing it for polish all of your achievements and things like that. If she's wait for a period, not trying to flag of anything. It is up to her. She is the one that I feel what she wants to do with the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel at the end of the day, whatever decision she makes, definitely supportive.
Toluwani, for you, the waiting period.
So it's the waiting period for me, and like Annabella said, she said that the process now is most of these athletes, they work hard for themselves.
Yes,
by themselves.
Yes.
So the hard work is not showing up again when you see situations like this. And the waiting period for me, yesterday we spoke about the age 27 and 3 years. We're talking 3 years now. So it's going to be 28, 29, 30. Yeah. So and I think so we have a problem right here for Favour, and. If it's going to be 3 years, so what is going to be happening for that 3 years?
So the thing now is
worrisome for me.
I think I'm sure Annabella is also listening.
Yeah.
The thing now is this: she went through something of that nature in Tokyo, right? And it was all the AFN. They are the ones to blame for that one. It happened again in Paris as well. I mean, that's wasted period, because I think we should just let our viewers understand the process that these athletes go to.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, as an athlete, right, because I have a couple of them as friends, as an athlete, you pay for your own coach, right?
Yes, they do that.
You pay for your own therapist. You pay for your own, I mean, you have an entire crew that you pay.
You are paying them personally,
right?
From your own
Yes,
purse.
your bill, yes. And you are working towards a tournament. So, for instance, you're working towards the Olympics, the 2020 Olympics, and then you are supposed to go out there. Because some people at the AFN fail to do their job, they render all of your efforts.
The job they are being paid for.
Yes. all of your efforts, all of the efforts of your crew, your doctor, your therapist, all of them rendered it useless.
Useless.
The same thing happened 4 years after, right? All of the efforts into making you compete in the 100 meters, because some people failed to do their job at the NFL and
AFN, yeah.
The same thing happened again. You missed the 100 meters. I mean, if you can sacrifice that long game, honestly, 3 years. I mean, 3 years shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be an issue.
Come on.
Honestly, it shouldn't be an issue. Whenever is hearing us, but then I think we should. On Monday, I don't know if my producer can help me out now. There's this particular interview that we had with, I think Punch actually had with the new chairman of the National Sports Commission, Madam Shehu Diko, on Sunday at the William Troost Ekong Foundation charity match. And he was asked that particular question. And I love his response. I don't know if my producer can get out on the screen for us very shortly. Now, the response was that, see, they understand that a lot has gone wrong in time past, and they are looking to build from the scratch and ensure that things like that don't repeat itself. Because if we keep losing all of these stars, I mean, what do we have for the future?
So the future.
And Toby was telling us yesterday that Favor Ashe, right, might also follow that footstep, and a whole number of players might also be looking at that. Because when I'm looking at the big girls doing that,
so why can't you follow suit? So it's quite easy. And I think the sad thing is that okay, so we need Favor to actually even speak up. So I think like Annabelle said, it just report from media saying this, saying that. But it's just that 3 years for you to say she has worked for 4 years, but for me that 3 years is a whole lot of time. So what are you doing within that 3 years? So you are not representing any federation, you're not doing anything.
No, I think she can still take part
in major competitions.
Yeah, she can still take part in meets
and all. But the major competition is what she wants for herself.
I mean, if that is what you need to do to earn a sign-on fee of $500,000, Annabelle,
you wait.
$500,000 sign-on fee.
You wait.
Is it not what the wait? It is what the wait for me.
No, for me, we're talking money.
You're talking money. Right? $500,000 is the prize money. I don't know if my producer can get his hands on that particular video. Let's have that. But if not, let's just move on today. And also talk about another female. Another female. And that's the new president of the International Olympic Committee. Her name is Christy Coventry. Well, she actually been talking about the challenges and how she plans to take that particular association to the next level. Don't forget, she's the first woman and the youngest to occupy that position, and she's Zimbabwean. Well, just in case you've not really heard anything about her, you don't know much about her, let's enjoy this about her. Something little about the new woman taking charge of IOC, International Olympic Committee, and some of her plans for the sports.
As we get set for this 150-meter distance, Tamari Davis in lane 3. Yes, she won
I think swimming kind of chose me a little bit in a way.
See the little fish? These are little fish. Loving the water.
What's your ambition in swimming?
My ambition is one day to get to the Olympics.
Christy Coventry from Auburn, only a freshman, one of 2 freshmen in the finals here from Auburn.
My name's Christy Coventry. I'm an Olympic swimmer.
In lane 5, representing Zimbabwe, Christy Coventry.
Family. I think that is something that's important to both of us. And then we have my foundation and academy back home, impacting our youth, giving back and giving children opportunities to play sport and become confident. My name's Christy Coventry. I'm the Zimbabwean IOC member, Athlete Commission. I'm excited because the Olympic movement has meant so much to me and my life. It's going to be really cool to throw myself into that.
Oh, there you have it, the new woman taking charge of a sport in the world. That's the IOC president, Christy Coventry. And I'm sure that you'd have one or two things to say about the woman taking charge. The first woman taking charge. The youngest also. I think the first African.
I think women are doing great things right now in the world. I think it's a big one for us. We can see the videos, you know, that we just watched. And, you know, for me, I'm so excited to see a woman also, you know, take charge. And the youngest to just do that. It's a big one. It's a big one for her. It's a big one for
African. Let's see what Annabelle has to say about this one. I mean, she's very big on female doing great things in sports. If she's still online, let's have her talk to us about the new president of the IOC. But if we don't have that right now, let's move on quickly and go back to the conversation we had earlier, right? I spoke about Malam Shehu Diko addressing, you know, the issue of, you know, favor of Philly and promising that things like that won't happen again. And there you have Malam Shehu Diko. Let's listen to him and we'll be back.
Regulators of football in Nigeria, and I'm sure they should be able to encourage all their other players to be able to do the same. We have so many top players in Nigeria that have retired, that are busy playing. They should all come together and do their own part within their own limits. And if we do that, I'm sure that we can be able to make a huge impact across the country.
Very quickly, sir, away from football. Earlier today, news filtered in that Nigerian sprinter Favour Felix switching nationality. Using your office, have you gotten any of such information? Is it true? Is it a rumor or is it fact?
Well, you know, I haven't got any official confirmation on that, like a letter or something from the AFN or from the player or from the athletes. You know, so, but you know, we are working as a commission to change this trajectory. That's why we are doing the reorganization of sports. That's why we are going through the foundation to make sure we put the right structure for Nigerian sports, to ensure that this thing does not happen, to ensure that we put our sports on a level where we can also be attracting others. And part of those, you know, sports is about money. And that's why we are working to put the Sports Development Fund together. If you do that, we can be able to take care of our athletes, to make them look good, to look after them, to make them happy that they can always be proud to represent Nigeria. And you know,
Oh, there you listen to Malam Shehu Diko, the chairman, National Sports Commission, promising that they are looking to put the right things in order to ensure that issues like this don't repeat itself. Do you believe Shehu Diko?
I just want to hold him by his words, and we are hoping that, you know, things like this, you know, they don't repeat itself, like you said, because we have young athletes, you know, who are seeing, you know, their mentors. These are Favour Philly, Toby Amuso. They have people are looking at them for, you know, more and more, you know, as the world is think like this. So I think they need to do better, you know, going forward, you know, just to help young athletes going forward. And also, even the ones still in the game, they need to do better for them. So I think I'm holding him by his words.
Just like Toluwani said, Malam Shehu Diko, I'm keeping that particular video because I will bring it back in the next 2 years, maybe. Yes, I still have you on my I still have you on my WhatsApp, so definitely I will come and hold you to that particular one. Let's move away from other sports. Let's go back to the world of football, where Super Eagles winger Moses Simon has penned a farewell message to his League One club, that's Nantes, ahead of his move to Paris Football Club. Moses Simon is leaving the club after 6 years at the club. The 29-year-old completed his medical at Paris FC yesterday and will sign a 3-year contract with Paris FC later on today. Simon took to his social media handle to bid the club farewell. According to him, 6 seasons of giving it your all with your heart. And there you have, you know, his tweet right there. The man is finally leaving. Simon enjoyed his most successful spell at Nantes last season, you know, scoring 8 goals, providing 10 assists in 32 league appearances for the club. Toluwani, one of Nigeria's best winger in recent times, and of course done so well for himself in the French League One. Now he's moving to a newly promoted side in France.
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna say, big congratulations to Moses Simon. To be very honest, I wanted him to leave, this club side.
Okay.
Yes, to see, I was expecting maybe a Premier League move.
Exactly my point. Because don't forget, he has the pace, he has the strength, he has the skill to play Premier League.
So he's a talented player. So why Paris FC? So, but all his agents and the management, can explain that. Having providing 10 assists, in 32 league appearance right there, for Nantes. I think is a big one, for him moving to Paris, and we're hoping for the very best, for one of Nigeria's most talented wingers right there, Moses Simon. So congratulations to him.
Yes, his full name is Moses Daddy Simon, and of course, one of the brightest stars of Nigerian football over there in Europe. Well, let's move on. But we are still staying in France because a news actually broke the internet yesterday. Well, French club Olympique Lyon have been demoted to Ligue 2 because of the poor state of their finances. The club were provisionally demoted by the DNGC, the body which oversees the accounts of professional football clubs in France, last November. Lyon officials, including owner John Textor, met with the DNGC yesterday, but they failed to convince the body that the club had sufficiently improved their financial situation to lift the punishment. Of course, last October, the Eagle Football Group, which owns 77% stake in Lyon, announced debts of £422 million. In a statement, Lyon said that the DNGC's decision was incomprehensible and confirmed that they would appeal this one. Lyon's relegation could prove significant to Crystal Palace's hopes of playing in the Europa League next season. We'll talk about that. Okay. Now, their participation is currently in doubt because of UEFA's rules. Toluani, let's talk about this one. Olympique Lyon, one of the greatest club in France, traditional club in France, being demoted because of financial issues. The only thing that can save them now, I think, is if they can get a new owner, a billionaire, then this is sad. But Crystal Palace will be happy because of European club football next season. They are both owned by the Eagle Group. And they're not allowed to play under the same ownership. So at this point, I'm sure Crystal Palace will go like, all right.
It's working in our favor.
It's working in our favor. But Olympique Lyon, a traditional side, getting demoted for financial issues, not the kind of news that French teams want to hear.
So I think it's a sad one. Even before this news, earlier this season, they were struggling for relegation. And so they were struggling for big relegation battle. But we saw them, fight back.
And they escaped.
Any spot, in the Europa League next season. So I think not having to get this news that, financial issues, things that can be settled, in-house, and it's now making them, get demoted back to League 2. So I think it's a big problem for them. And also for Crystal Palace, like you said, we had the issue with Nottingham Forest also trying to appeal that. Remember that if that statement is being made and they grant them that favor, Nottingham Forest will be the one, to play the Europa League, right there in Premier League. But right now, it looks like it's in favor of Crystal Palace. But like you said, if they have a billionaire that can come in, to spend right there. But moving away from that, I think we need to look at the major issues right now. It happens in big clubs too, like Chelsea, like Manchester United, having financial issues like this and having to. So I think everybody needs to put their house in order and let's know who is coming in, what are we spending, what are we not spending, what is coming out.
Go by the rules.
Go by the rules.
Ensure that you make profit. I mean, that's what football is all about, right? Ensure that you don't spend more than what comes in. I mean, it's kind of funny, but then it is what it is, I must say. All right, let's move on because of our time. Just 5 minutes left and talk about the FIFA Club World Cup. At least 10 teams have so far qualified for the round of 16 at the ongoing FIFA Club World Cup. This follows the conclusion of the latest group fixtures played yesterday and the early hours of today. Recall that Benfica defeated Bayern Munich by a single goal to qualify for the last 16 of the competition. Of course, it was a shocker for many, I must say. Benfica, Bayern Munich, whoa. Over Chelsea, on their own part, they won 3-0 against the Esperance of Tunisia, expectedly, and they moved straight to the next round of the competition. Tosin Adarabioyo, although the British call him whatever they call him, but then Liam Delap scored his first goal for Chelsea, and of course, George Tricky got the other goal for Chelsea. 3-0, Chelsea won, and there you have it on your screen. Which of those results shocked you the most? Aside the Benfica game.
Okay. I think you've said it already. I said the Benfica game, but it's a good one for Chelsea side. You are seeing so people will call Enzo Maresca low budget Pep Guardiola. For obvious reasons, because you see him trying new things on the field. Why are you playing Reece James in the midfield? Why? But like I said, it's just a test. To see how far you can implement your squad. Come next season. So a big one for Chelsea for having qualification. Also, but it's a shock for me to see FC Bayern Munich defeated by Benfica. But it's football. Anything can happen. So it's expected. Be it a big club or not. So Benfica also, they're not a small club. In European football. So I think and also South American side are doing fantastic in the FIFA Club World Cup. So it's big ups to them.
South Americans, I mean, they're dominating. They've always dominated the FIFA Club World Cup. Let's take a look at the group standings in Group C and Group D. In Group D, Flamengo finishing tops with 7 points, followed by Chelsea with 6 points. Of course, Chelsea won 2 games and, of course, lost just 1. Esperance of Tunisia, see you next time. And, of course, LAFC also, goodbye, despite, I mean, it's quite funny, right?
Yes, it is.
It's quite funny. Of course, Group C has Benfica, following that big win against Bayern Munich yesterday. Of course, good win for them. They topped the group. Bayern Munich went through as a second place team in that group. Boca Juniors, I mean, I'm surprised Boca here where they are, honestly. But Auckland City, yeah.
But even Auckland City, even if you draw a game, you earn money. Even if you win a game, you earn money.
Yes. So I think, yeah. So I mean, if time permits, I will go through the whole financial thingy. But then just participating, I mean,
a lot of money. So let's imagine that we have an Imba or we have a Casino,
Shooting Stars,
Remo Stars, Shooting Stars.
A lot of money.
We're talking billions.
Billions, yes. Billions, I must say.
Yeah.
Don't forget Auckland City. It's an amateur club.
Yes, amateur club. And they're in the draw. Yeah. So that draw is even giving them something in their pockets.
They played 3 games. Just playing those 3 games, it's billions. Well, there you have it. Games tonight. Yeah. That's Borussia Dortmund versus Ulsan HD. Yeah. Sundowns versus Fluminense also today. And let's see, check out the comment section and drop a prediction. Sundowns, Fluminense, your predictions, and of course guarantees you 2,000 naira. That's when you get that correctly. Well, there you have the pairings as well. So it appears Chelsea will be playing Benfica.
Yeah.
According to what we have, the Palmeiras will take on Botafogo. Of course, Bayern Munich, Flamingos. Whoa. Round of 16 making a lot interesting. A lot interesting than we thought. But unfortunately, time won't let us go through the whole financial permutation and the benefits that comes to all of the clubs that part. All right, quickly let me just take you through that one. Well, a win in the group stage earns you $2 million per match. A draw earns you $1 million. Round of 16, you make round of 16 get 7.5
million.
That's massive. Honestly speaking. Massive. And just in case you eventually win this, just imagine the Shooting Stars getting the final and get the win, right?
Just in case. I think we'll be all celebrated. Yeah. I trust me, we'll not be here.
That's $40 million.
$40 million. Yeah. We're talking billions. Even convert to actually.
Of course.
Let's just do that.
And it will also be nice to have Osun United also play in there.
I think
at some point.
I think you will have that.
Yeah, why not? Well, it's been a nice time hanging out with you, Toluwani, on the show.
It is. I want to say a big thank you to everyone that joined us. It's an amazing one. Like we said, we also have a prediction. Yesterday we did a prediction, nobody won. So let's see if somebody can win today also. We have cash prizes for you right there on the YouTube channel. Make sure you follow, share, and subscribe.
Big thanks to Annabelle Enahoro, who also joined us from the United Kingdom this morning, and of course gave us the female perspective to all of the things that we'll discuss. We'll be back later tomorrow, same time on Dominion Television. You can hook us up on YouTube at Dominion Broadcast on YouTube, and of course on our website, Dominion, www.dominion.com.org.ng to enjoy the best of programming on this station. On behalf of the entire production crew, thanks for joining us. Do have a lovely day.